Here we are today at the back of the allotment. The intention is to put up a polytunnel. So this is it. It's 14 foot by 9 foot. Just kind of the size that fits in this corner. It's fairly, well, it's a windy day, really windy day today. You can maybe see the trees at the back, and this spot here is probably the most sheltered spot on the site, being down the end of the wood. The two sheds, the shed that was in that corner I've moved, it's just behind us to clear this space. I was going to get a greenhouse, but they're horrendously expensive, and I'm actually building this out of pallets. So I picked up some pallets, 10 by 5 foot pallets, and the timbers, the boards on the pallet, are 3 inches wide, ½ an inch thick. They're not structurally strong that way, but they're torsionally strong in the 3-inch direction, as I'll show you in a second. Kind of all I've had to buy is the polythene for the cover, which was £67 from Prem Tunnels, or I'll put the name down below, and these 3 by 1 inch tannalised boards, which are running around the bottom for the base, which I will attach the polytunnel to. Now, to anchor it down, I've made these stakes out of rebar, which I'm going to hammer into the ground. These stakes I will screw to the boards on the perimeter. So that's a corner one, just some steel plate welded onto this rebar, with some holes drilled in. That's a corner bracket. Then the straight ones, I suppose if you couldn't make these, or you couldn't get hold of anything like this, I could have just used wood, which would have done the same job. Hammered some 2x2 pegs in the corners down the perimeter. I may still do that in odd places if this structure is a bit flimsy. I may just hammer some more wooden pegs in between these pieces of metal. So my first task really is to get all these hammered in, get all this base levelled up, and then I can start attaching the legs. A little bit of ground discrepancy, but not too bad. You see the two stakes by the door. I've just set them back because that's where the door frame is going in. So this ground is actually quite soft at this end. It's not been worked much, it's just had sheds sat on it, and it did have a greenhouse there originally, a small greenhouse. So the ground is quite soft. Those stakes, although they're very hard to pull out, I don't think they're enough to hold this in place. So therefore what I will do is, between each of those metal stakes, I will hammer in a 2x2 wooden peg, and I will then screw that through from the outside, and that will give a really good substantial hold on the sides of this thing. I'm also running the plastic down and underground, and I'm putting the soil back on top of the plastic. And be lifting the inside up about that height with soil, so when the boards go in each side of the path, there'll be 3-4 inches of compost going in the side beds anyway, so it will all kind of be level, and this plastic will just stop the plastic buried will hopefully stop rodents and things crawling inside. We shall see. Right, So I'm going to start getting the framework up now. Got a couple of stakes over there stood up. Got a couple of stakes over there stood up, and they're going to be my props. Hopefully this wind here won't harass me too much. But for now that is temporarily just one screw on every bracket holding it in place, which is all that it needs. I'll get this framing up and just check everything first before I go ahead and fix it all down properly. Get a couple of frames up, we can have a look. So these are my side, or my legs, which I've made for the uprights, and they're going to sit like that. And these are simply, as I said, pallet boards, about 1/2 inch thick by 3 inch. And I've glued and pinned a brace across that corner. There'll be a 2x1 rail running through there and one running through there. And I've put this foam on top as well, this polystyrene it is. I've just stapled it on, and it's literally to stop the plastic rubbing on the corners of that wood. I know it probably won't, but better safe than sorry. So the plastic goes over all the timber on top. Hopefully it'll do it. Well, I've just screwed 3 of these to the ridge board, and it's a 2-man job really for this wind, but I'm going to try and position them on that back rail, hoist it up, and then put a couple of props in just to hold it while I get 2 more on this opposing side. It's worth a go. Oh my God, no. That is not going to work. There's one thing I ain't going to crop. Handy. Just come on, get on there. That ain't gonna work. Let me have a think. I might just put 2 on the end, set the end up, then brace that into the fence and put 2 on this end, try and get it up that way. Right, I'm going to try this, could be the future. That'll do it. That'll do it. I'll just get me a couple of clamps to hold that in place. Right, that is not the future. because I haven't brought my clamps. Forgot to bring them. So the future part 2, going back to the future part 2, is to put 2 of them on, another 2 on there, and then roll the 2 over so it's standing proud, and then I can put a brace off onto that tree or somewhere just to stop it. Wah, 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 wah. Right, the future part 2, I'm running out of battery as well, so the future part 2 now is to try and stand this up. As you can see, the wind's not affecting it at all. This could go horribly wrong. It's up. It's up, sort of. Stay. Stay. Stay there. Come in here a bit. There you go. You come in there. I don't know why you've made it so tall. I have no idea. Right. Get a belly brace on something. And guess what else you forgot? Yeah, the step ladders, I know. There we go. Out there. Here's the plum tree. Oh! Yeah, I don't know why you made it so tall. It's sort of 2-story type of yeah, anyway, I'm going to try and jump up and screw the other 3 ridge side braces in now. I've got a chair. I'll be able to do it off the chair, and a box. A chair and a box. Should be able to do it. So I'll come back if I get the whole thing, manage to get it all screwed up. And we're nearly out of battery. 3% battery, guys. So yeah, I've managed to put screws in here. I've got screws in here. That leg runs down behind this sideboard, and that will have metal plates screwed through there and into the side plate just to hold them in place. So I've got a couple of fixings in there. These braces run across to stop the polythene flapping. There's one more going in the centre here. You need some diagonals put in from the roof to these corners on each end. That'll stiffen it up. But for now, I'm going to go and have a brew. Put the rest of these braces in, side braces.